Yeah, for the first part, you just want to find the length of the string after exactly 2 stretches. Now a stretch consists of 2 components, an elongation and a contraction. So one complete stretch is 1 elongation and 1 contraction. In question part 1, you show that the length of the string after 2 stretches is 48.892. Correct to 3 decimal places. Unfortunately, there are candidates who do correct to 3 significant figures. You have to read carefully. So the first answer, you start with 30, so the length is 30, 30 plus the first stretch, the elongation. The elongation is given as 10 plus the second elongation will be 10 times 10 over 11. Then the contraction. The first contraction is 0.1, the second contraction is 0.001 less, so it's 0.1 minus 0.001. I will write as 0.1 plus 0.1 minus 0.001. And that's it. You subtract because when it contracts, the length becomes shorter. And then you just simplify this. 30 plus 10 plus 10 times 10 over 11 plus this 0. It should be minus 0.1, so 0.2 minus, if I open up this bracket, it should be plus 0.001. And then you get 40 plus 0.001, so it's 40.001 plus 10 times 10 over 11 minus 0.2. You have to simplify this. There are many students who just set your calculator and get the answer to 3 decimal places. This you will lose 1 mark because we need you to write the answer before what you're asked to show, and that answer is this one, 48.8919. We need to see this to get your 1 mark. Then you can approximate to 3 decimal places, 48.892. The reason why you cannot skip from here to here, because this answer is given, you're asked to show this, so I need to see this, the step before your final answer. Then you get 2 marks. Right, in the second part, is actually a combination of a GP and an AP. So let's write the elongation first. Elongation. The first elongation is 10, and then 10 times 10 over 11, and then 10 times 10 over 11 times another 10 over 11, so this square it. And after n times there will n elongations, and at the end of the n elongation, the value of the elongation will be the second one you have power 1, third one power 2, so the nth one will be power n minus 1, but there are how many terms? Not n minus 1 terms, this power 0. Power 0 to n minus 1, there are n terms, and this is a GP. So we use GP to sum. Formula Sn equals to A 1 minus R power number of terms is n. There are n terms here over 1 minus R. And your A is 10. 1 minus R is 10 over 11. Number of terms is n. Current number of students write as n minus 1 over 1 minus 10 over 11. Some people use the formula R power n minus 1 over R minus 1. That's perfectly alright. You will get this final same answer. This is 1 over 11. 1 over 11, if you divide by 1 over 11, you times with 11. So you get 110. 1 minus 10 over 11 power n. The elongation. How about the contraction? The first one you know is 0.1, and then the second one is 0.1 less by 0.001, and the nth one is 0.1 minus n times 0.001. Is it correct? It's not correct, because you see the second one is 1 times this, second one is this, the third one will be 2 times this, and so this one should be n minus 1 times 0.001, n minus 1 times, first one 0 times 0.001, second one is 1 times 0.001, so the nth one is n minus 1 times 0.001. Right, this is an AP, and the sum to n terms, there are n terms, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n minus 1 is n terms. N over 2, you can use 2a plus n minus 1 times d, or n over 2 into a plus l. L is you already know, so either way you get the same answer. N over 2, n is unknown, which you want to find. The first term is 0.1, so 2a is 0.2 plus n minus 1. The common difference is 0.001, negative 0.001 rather. Simplify. N over 2, 0.2 minus 0.001n plus 0.001. That's what I do here. Plus. And that gives us n over 2000 into 201 minus n. Therefore, after n stretches, length of the string is equal to, add up the total elongation minus the total contraction. The elongation that we got earlier was 110, 1 minus 10 over 11 power n. Then the contraction, we just got it here, n over 2000 into 201 minus n. Simplify. You need to simplify to claim your mark.
Okay, continue 10.
Yeah.
We need to rewrite.
Yeah, then erase lah.
Eraser. Okay. Sometimes like that.
But remember I said one stretch consists of one elongation and one contraction. So after n stretches, there will be n elongations and n contractions. But originally you have 30. The length was 30. Then you add the total elongation, which was 110 into 1 minus 10 over 11. My 11 is badly written. Oh. Power n. Subtract the contraction, and the contraction is this one at the top, which is n over 2000, 201 minus n. Okay, and I can further simplify. If I open up these two brackets, I get 140, 30 plus 110 times 1, minus 30 times, no, sorry, mistake. Minus 110 into 10 over 11 power n minus 201 n over 2000 and plus n squared over 2000. That's my answer if you simplify. Those without simplifying, you just stop here, you may lose 1 mark. Oh, that was part 2. Let's go to part 3. Part 3, there's a misunderstanding of the questions. They only say at the end stretch, one stretch only, not the sum of the end stretches. So you will lose its elasticity. You will lose its elasticity. Tongue twisted. When the elongation is less than the contraction. At the end stretch, the contraction was 0.1 plus n minus 1 into negative 0.001, and this must be bigger than, at the end stretch, the elongation was 10 times 10 power 11 power n minus 1. So this has to be bigger. Now those who use equal sign, your final answer turns out using the calculator, you get 58.22. So how do you get minimum number of stretches as 59? 58.22 is nearer to 58. So even if you get 59 without explanation, you will not get marked. You make a double mistake. Right, all you have to do now is use GC. It has been found that many of you are very reluctant to use the GC to solve this complicated inequality. It's very difficult to solve without GC. But with GC, it's very simple. Go to your table and get this. You can call this y1, call this y2. Then your y1 must be bigger than y2. So from GC, y1 will be bigger than y2 when n equals 59. So your least number is 59. What if it's 60? It's still greater, but we want the least number. So it should be 59. But you cannot get 58. 58, this inequality does not hold. Okay? This is one way, you y1, y2. Or you can use y3 equals to y1 minus y2. Then the moment you get greater than 0, that will be your answer. So there are various ways of using a GC. And those who refuse to learn the table method, you will be handicapped. I guess in the paper you should lose up to 10 marks if you make mistakes here. Most questions, although you can use analytical method, it is a poorer method. The best method is using your GC, use table. Right. So how you present? If you use a table, you should present something like this. Since your answer is 59, so we want your y1 greater than 0. I brought the left hand side over to the right hand side. This is very poor. I rewrite this. Okay, now your presentation, your x is your n. y1 is as defined above. We only want to see three values. 58, you get something. 59 is negative 0. I'm not sure. I must use my calculator. 0.000 71364. Then at 59 you get 0.00226, and that's greater than 0, is less than 0. Then 60, you also get something greater than 0. So you must write least, the word least should be there. That's your evidence. The table here is your evidence that you have used the table, your calculator correctly. So most people lose marks because they use a sum instead of this single nth stretch. They use the total of n stretches. Let's